Your name and address?
My name is Judy Margolis. I live on this street, 4704 Queen Palm Lane.
And who are you addressing your question to?
I'd like to address it to Harry and Michelle. And perhaps Stewart would like to put in something.
Would you like the microphone?
No, I think, can you hear me?
Yes.
Approximately 4 years ago, the commission passed an ordinance establishing the Woodlands Neighborhood Improvement District. In 4 years, this community has strongly opposed the Woodlands Neighborhood Improvement District. We had a petition drive. Don't shake your head. Listen to what I have to say.
Please continue.
We had a petition drive in which we stopped on our own at 2/3 the number of homes represented.
What is your question?
Pardon me?
What is your question, please?
I'm leading up to it.
Well, you don't take all night to lead up. What is your question, please?
Excuse me, I want to establish the verification for my question. The second thing was there was a referendum the city held, which they voided. The third thing is that the monthly meetings were very poorly attended. I know because I went to them. That's only 3...
What is your question?
Joel, hey Joel, how about having a little courtesy yourself? I want to know, because I heard that the city is planning to pursue the neighborhood improvement district, what Harry plans to do and what Michelle plans to do about this, that this community has shown it is in opposition to.
May I make a request for a clarification, please? My concern, Judy, you know I have absolutely no problem answering your questions about my opinions. My concern is that this is an item that is coming up that's a full commission item, and I do not believe that the mayor and I can be out here right now expressing that to you. This has not been a notice meeting in that behalf. And so I am concerned about it being a sunshine violation. So please, I do not have a problem speaking with you outside, speaking with anybody of the neighbors outside, but I don't know if it's something that Harry and I can both discuss here tonight. I am concerned about that.
I have a procedural comment, if I could make it. Okay. The advice that I received from City Council and from the Inspector Office, the Inspector General's office, during certification training, which we need to do every year, the last takeaway that I had was that when you have 2 elected officials in a room, that they can speak to an issue, they cannot speak to each other. The issue being communications between the parties regarding the Sunshine Law. Now, there are different people who have different opinions about that. So, in one scenario, one of us could speak and the other not. Or both could speak, just not addressing each other. So, you know, I would defer it to the chair in all matters. You decide.
No.
We'll move on.
Judy included me as a possible. Okay.
I think that speak and I'll speak for Harry to speak, but I'm not going to have both of us speak.
As one who has walked through this community, and for maybe about the past 10 to 12 years, this is a deep concern about the lack of communication, as well as the proper lack of satisfactory input. I continue to agonize over it. And I am really concerned because there needs to be more input, there needs to be decisive action quickly, but there needs to be more input. People might agree, people might disagree, but there needs to be a level of satisfaction. And as somebody who is familiar with arbitration as well as governance, this is something that needs to be addressed quickly and decisively. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me speak to you. Harry Dressler, 1 minute rebuttal.
All right, for the mayor's, it's not a rebuttal, this is just a fact transmission here. I'm not arguing with anybody. The mayor's view, from the mayor's seat, the mayor's view on this issue was discussed at a public workshop, and the discussion, as I recollect it, was that The city didn't initiate the NID concept, the community did. The community came to us because it's required under state statutes to come to the city commission and get approval to initiate and have an NID with some kind of a board of directors. So about 4 years ago, the city commission said, if you want to pursue an NID type process, it's okay, why don't you go do that? In the past 4 years, again, this is from the viewpoint of the senior staff, myself and my colleagues on the commission. The last conversation we had about this was basically to discuss, as we have, the issue that what's important for people to agree on is to have the people decide what they want to do for themselves, because assessments are involved. So the city's not going to do anything or give it the approval unless the people vote. That's where a referendum would be held. City would pay for it, and we'll discuss that in greater detail later.
All right, next question. Yes.
My name is Rose Redka. I live in Center 901 South County Circle in Tamarac. I've been here for 18 years. I got a question for Stewart Webster. Okay, I got this from the Broward County property appraisal. I'm a neighbor of yours. Your financial responsibility has caused me to pay a special assessment as my association. You owe approximately $11,500, which is approximately 46 months. I have heard rumors concerning Broward County School Board, problems you created. Is there any truth of that?
2 minutes.
I am absolutely shocked, but on the other hand, I'm not surprised. This young lady lives in my community, lives across the street, and has been a constant, unrelenting annoyance to the community, to my community and to me personally.
We're supposed to be honest.
Okay, he has the floor.
That is correct. That is the amount that I owe. I just want to collect myself and get done. Yes, ma'am, that is the amount that I owe. And you also need to be aware that I have made and have been living by constant arrangements to take care of that amount. Okay? So that is not a problem. And please understand, as you very well know, that's why you're here tonight. Okay? All the way from Versailles. Right across. That's why you're here
I live in
tonight.
Tamarac.
Okay. That's why you're here tonight. You did not say that. I have an arrangement with the community to pay, and I have been paying that. As far as the school board of Broward County is concerned, I have absolutely no idea what this lady is talking about. On the other hand, I was vice chair of the diversity committee of the school board, and I was also chair, just demitted office, of the Broward County Diversity Advisory Council. You will see in my closing remarks, I smile because I was expecting this. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Well, let's try and keep
From the
these.
newspaper about Broward.
Let's try and keep these questions to city issues, not personal,
Thank you,
individual
sir.
issues.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Gary Buckstone, 6206 Orchard Street. Harry, I got a question to ask. We're building tons of townhouses. They're building right across the street from Woodlands. We can't move on Commercial Boulevard. They're putting up matchboxes all the way down by the mainlands to the turnpike. If you come across here, which you don't because you live in Woodmont,
And your question?
hey, behave yourself, will you?
Go ahead.
Harry, is this what's going to be on the board? This is a terrible problem. Harry, what are you going to do with regard to all of this new population that's coming in here? How is the traffic pattern going to be on Commercial Boulevard? Or what are your intentions to improve it?
Okay, one of the to answer your question on a citywide level, it's economic development that keeps taxes stable. Hold that thought, and then consider the fact that 99.9% of the city is already built out. So there are some parcels, there are some areas that may see development. There are pluses and minuses to that. One of the pluses has to do with economic development issues and how they actually benefit residential folks who live in the city. You know, the downside is that there are issues like traffic, which is a huge problem in our city, you know, complicated by issues of parking that go back to 1970. What the city tries to do, I'm talking to professional staff, what they try to do before like planning and zoning and before senior staff at economic development approve any kind of development that's residential, they do an evaluation that says, or not, that, you know, this project will not add unnecessary traffic to a certain flow. Or they look for ways to mitigate that traffic by having different kinds of ingress and egress, as they say. The city talk for, you know, how are you going to get in, how are you going to get out? Sometimes the answers are, and the solutions are simple. Sometimes they just candidly are not. So the honest answer is yes, a city would like to see development, but not have it impact adversely on the people who live in that area already. And a good example would be the charter school that we said no to on McNabb. We partly said no, you know, because of traffic concerns.
Thank you. Mike, 1 minute for rebuttal.
I think one of the problems is, and Sun Center wrote an article about the fact that Tamarac is going to rewrite its land development code. The land development code hasn't been changed for 40 years. So it's kind of been an anything goes type of thing. And so one of the issues that we had is the code is not unified or complete. And Maxine Calloway said that there are provisions in the code that are not compliant with Florida or federal laws. So one of the reasons why we need new blood in the commission is because a new person will come in and evaluate what's going on, do some benchmarking, and make better decisions for the city going forward. When you have a city where the code hasn't changed in 40 years, you have situations like townhomes and charter schools just setting up shop here and there and everywhere, and that's not good.